What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'm gonna get. Well, it's kind of late for me, but it's probably gonna be pretty early for y'all. But I'm gonna get this UFC Vegas 19 predictions out the way. I think this is you, right? It's Vegas 19. I'm just assuming, right? It is. Yeah, UFC Vegas 19 predictions out the way. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis. Um, I'm not going to be doing a breakdown on that particular fight. I already did one, and I did a really good one. I will link the breakdown. It's old, but I feel like it still applies. Obviously, there's not a lot of new details I can really talk about that fight, but I will be linking that video in the description. And yeah, you guys will see it. But it is what it is. Let's get down to this card. It's a good card. We got a lot of fights. Let's hope this stays. We already know about Vegas, man. These fights be flying out of the way. But it is what it is. First fight of the night, we start off with Rafael Alves versus Pat Sabini, man. This is an awesome fight. I really like this fight a lot. Rafael comes in, 19-9. He is from Brazil. He's fighting at an MMA Masters. That's in Florida. Age 30, height 5'8", and reach 68. Pat is 13-3. Fights out of Pennsylvania. Age 30, height 5'9". His reach is NA, so non-applicable. His most recent win was against Jesse Stern via armbar. His most recent loss was against James Gonzalez. For Rafael, if we look for his most recent loss, that was a while back, actually. Yeah, and it was against his most recent win actually was against Alejandro Flores on the Contender Series. Really good win via guillotine. And his most recent loss is to Jason Fisher via leg injury. This guy, Rafael, is a freak, man. He is a genetic monster in there. And I think Pat Sabini is super tough. So I do see a decision. But, man, Rafael Alves, he's looking like a monster. I see a lot of great things for Pat, but I just think he's fighting a killer. And MMA Masters is making a comeback. They got some really good guys, man, and Colby Covington, and what's the guy, Carmel Thunder. I forgot his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The guy that beat Takashi Sato and Matt Brown. But they're stacking up, man. Ilya Taporia, they got him too. They're looking dangerous. But this guy, I mean, he does backflips for fun, So I think it'll be competitive. Sabini's tough, but I think Rafael gets this done by decision. If I was to pick, but he is a finisher though. But his last three fights were finishes. But I think they get this done by the distance. I think both these guys are good. Next fight, I love this fight. It's awesome, I think. My boy, Luis Pena versus Drakkar Klose. I know a lot of people are kind of down on Luis Pena, I've noticed. But, Drakkar Klose comes in 11-2-1, has one draw. Fights at Glendale, Arizona, age 32, height 5'9", and it reaches 70. My boy, Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena, is 8-3. He's not fighting out of Gilroy, California anymore. I think he's fighting with American Top Team now. So that's in Florida. So he's probably fighting out of Florida. Age 27, height 6'3", and it reaches 75. Pena is a good fighter. Drakkar Klose is also a good fighter. In my humble opinion, Drakkar is coming off a loss to Beneil Dariush. It was a fun fight while it lasted. I thought it was super fun, but Drakkar Klose had some fucking shenanigans in there with, touching them gloves in the first round and cheating. And he hurt Beneil, but he got knocked the fuck out, which was crazy. His last one was against Christos Giagos. This is obviously a late notice replacement. I forgot who he was supposed to fight. Oh, man. It was in my head. Oh, Jai Herbert. That's who he was supposed to fight. Jai Herbert. But Luis Pena came to save the day. Luis Pena is coming off a submission loss to Kama Worthy. I kind of felt like he got caught. I thought he was on his way to winning that fight, but it is what it is. His most recent win was against Steve Garcia. I might shock some people. I'm going Luis Pena by decision. I think Pena, he's a former AKA talent. He's worked with really good wrestlers. Carlos is just primarily a wrestler with some decent boxing. I'm not, I like the guy. He's a cool guy. I watched him on the Sean O'Malley podcast, and he seemed like a dope guy. But I think he's actually going to take an L. And I know a lot of people might think I'm crazy with this, but I think Luis Pena got something to prove. He got something to show, and I think he gets it done here. I really do. He gets a surprise decision win over Carlos. The records and all that. I know y'all might be going against me, but I think Pena gets it done. But it is what it is. Next fight, Nasruddin Imaya versus Phil Hawes, man. Ooh, this is a scary fight right here, man. I think this was supposed to be on the Max Holloway Calvin Kattar card, and I was so torn on this. But let's get to the stats. Imaya comes to 9-2. Fights out of France, age 24, height 6'3", and a reach of 75.6. Phil is 9-2, age 32, height 6 foot, and a reach of 77.5. And he also fights out of New Jersey, I think. Yeah, I think New Jersey. I'm not sure, but or actually, he's actually fighting at Stanford MMA, so that's in Florida. But these guys, oh my God, these guys are killers, bro. You guys are not punks, man. Imaya's most recent win was against Jordan Williams. I wasn't too impressed with that, and his most recent loss was to Miklek Maslaki. And Phil's most recent one was against Jacob McQuan. I think that's the guy's name. He finished him in fucking so quickly. And his most recent loss was to Julian Marquez via that crazy head kick. It's hard. It's hard to say who's gonna go out here and win this fight, but it's very close. Imaya is very, very tough. I don't think he's no punk. He was very hittable against Jordan Williams. It's hard to say. He has a monster overhand. He has a decent wrestling background. Imaya might have some jiu-jitsu to scare Phil, but I think Phil takes this. I might be going with a few decisions on this card. Phil might take this. Actually, he looked really hittable against Jordan Williams. But he's tough. So I say third round TKO. Actually, I was gonna go with a decision. Man, these guys are really good, man. If anyone's gonna really win a decision, it's probably gonna be Imaya. I could see that more at Phil's a finisher. You look at his last 5. Yeah, his last 5 were all finishes. So you can't really put that on him. So I'm gonna go Phil by third round TKO. But I think Imaya is super tough, so I got a lot of respect for him. Next one. This is another fight I actually talked about. This was supposed to be on the, I think, Jeff Neal, Wonderboy card. Zahabi versus Draco Rodriguez. This is a hard fight, man, to kind of predict. But Zahabi is 7-2, fights out of Canada, age 33, height 5'8", and a reach of 68. Draco is 7-1, fights out of Iowa, age 24, height 5'8", and a reach of 69.5. So he does have the reach advantage. There's not a lot of tape on Draco. His Contender Series fight was super, super short. He got it really done, via the triangle choke in the first round over Martinez. Zahabi, he's coming off a loss over Vince Morales, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak. And Ricardo Ramos, his most recent win was against Ronaldo Viera. Draco's most recent loss was to Tony Gravely, who's a good wrestler. Originally I was going with Zahabi. I think Zahabi has a really good chance, and he needs the win. I think even though obviously records don't really separate themselves, Zahabi really has one more fight than the guy. He has been doing it longer, I think. That's what I'm assuming. He hasn't been. I don't think he's necessarily been fighting for a long time, but he's been around the amateur scene. I've seen a cool little documentary about him on YouTube. So he has been doing it longer. Nothing against Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is hungry, but I think Zahabi might have a wrestling advantage. He is Frost Zahabi's brother, so this is going to be super, super interesting to see how well this goes for him. But I wouldn't be surprised if Draco gets it done, but I'm going to be going Zahabi by decision to get this done, But, next up, awesome fight. Julian Rosa versus Nate Landwehr. Nate the Train. I love this fight, man. These dudes are tough, bro. These dudes are fucking tough. This is going to be a scrap. Julian Rosa comes in 24-8, fights out of Washington, age 31, height of 6'1", and it reaches 74.5, which is interesting. Nate is 14-3, fights out of Tennessee, age 32, height 5'9", and it reaches 70. So, Rosa's coming with a 4-inch, reach advantage, which is interesting. He's a taller. His most recent win was against Sean Woodson, skinny legs boy with that Darce choke. He was super tough in there. He was going for the kill. He leaves his chin out there sometimes, but if he can tough you out and break you, man, he's a fucking marauding motherfucker. His most recent loss was to Julio Arce via head kick KO in the 3rd round. I know some people say that's a bad loss, but Julio Arce has a win over Dan Ige. The guy's a good fighter. So no shame in that. But besides that, and also you look at the guys he's lost to, right? He was on a 3-fight skid. Julio Arce, Grant Dawson, Devontae Smith. All 3 of those guys are legitimate. At one point in their careers, they were considered legitimate prospects at 145. So there's no shame in that. It is what it is. Nate is obviously coming off a really good win over Darren Elkins and a KO loss to Herbert Burns. This is a hard fight. Nate, I actually was going to predict Nate to beat Movsar Evloev because, Nate's dealing has so much experience with dealing with these guys. But I do not know, man. I think it's a hard one. They both got KO'd. I see it happen. You know what? I'm gonna go Julian Rosa. I think. Man. I don't know, man. Nate was a monster in M1, and he has great takedown defense. And he might be the better boxer, but I feel like he was a better boxer against a wrestler. And against these grapplers, I think he's gonna be better than these guys. But he's more than a grappler, man. He's a marauder motherfucker. So it's like I think he'll be able. Man, let me see who are on Tapology. A lot of people 75% are going with Nate. I'm gonna go Rosa by decision. I'm gonna take him by decision. I think he gets it done. I love Nate, man. I love Nate, and I was actually super confident he was gonna beat Movsar actually because I felt like he dealt with a lot of those Russian guys, and he knows how to beat them. But I don't know. I don't think he gets this done. I really don't. I might be crazy, but I don't think he gets it done. Next one up, not much to talk about. Heavyweight fight here: Sergey Spivak versus Jared Vanderaa. Sergey comes in 11-2, fights out of Moldova, age 26, height 6'3", and it reaches 78. Jared is 11-4. Fights out of California, age 28, height 6'4", and a reach of 80. Sergey's most recent win was against Carlos Felipe, and his most recent loss was to Marcin Tybura. No shame in that loss in there. Jared's most recent win was against Harry Hunsucker. What the hell? What kind of name is? Whatever. And his most recent loss was against Renan Ferreira via submission, triangle choke. I'm gonna go Sergey. I'm gonna go Sergey Spivak. Will Sergey get the finish? That's the question. His most, I think, was it tied to Avasa? Yeah, tied to Avasa was an arm triangle choke. He did lose Walt Harris. That's not a good. Well, actually, Walt Harris he knocked out Alexei Oleinik. I'll leave Walt Harris alone. But recently Walt's been looking like a goddamn fool. But it is what it is. do I think he? You know what? I'll take it. I say second round submission for Sergey. I'll take a dive there. I don't trust him, man. He likes to be a wet blanket in there. If he feels like he can get the submission, he'll get it, but he won't necessarily work for it. You know what I'm saying? But I'll take a chance that he wants a good sub. And he's been scheduled to fight a whole bit on this card, so he might want to kind of show people something and remind people. Next fight, great fight, Derrick versus Charles Rosa. I love this fight, man. This is gonna be dope. Derrick comes in 25-11, fights out of Nebraska, age 30, height 5'7", and reaches 71. Charles is 13-4, fights out of Florida, age 34, height 5'9", and reaches 69. This is, awesome. Derrick is coming off a win over TJ Laramie. That shocked me a lot. Hey, my boy, who was it? Brandon Phillip, actually, a while back. I remember this. It was an awesome comment. Probably it was a clean one. He was telling me, hey, Derrick gonna beat that boy TJ. That boy TJ is hype. And I didn't know. I was like, I don't know, man. But he hit that one on the nail. I gotta give that boy credit for that. He's always dog hunting. I always gotta give him credit for it. But he surprised me. He's a good wrestler though. Good wrestler. Well, I wouldn't say a good wrestler. He has good takedown defense. And he's coming off. His most recent loss was to Grant Dawson. I think Grant Dawson is, he's a good fighter. I think he's talented. I don't know where he's gonna be, but he's a talented guy. Charles Rosa's most recent one was against Kevin Aguilar via split decision, and his most recent loss was to Bryce Mitchell. That was a crazy domination. Minard has he does have a lot of fights under his belt. I will say that he has more fights than Charles Rosa, and he is a lot younger. But I just feel like there is a level of competition that beats Charles Rosa. I feel like it's ranked guys. Nothing against Derrick, no disrespect. And I don't think he's gonna beat Charles. The guys like Shane Burgos, guys like Bryce, guys like that beat Charles. I think Rosa gets this done via decision. I think it's gonna be scrappy though. So I will say that. But next one up, Chase Skelly versus Jamall Emmers. Chase comes in 18-3, fights out of Texas, age 35. A height of 5'11", and it reaches 73.5. Jamall is 18-5, fights out of California, age 31, a height of 5'10", and it reaches 74. Chase is coming off a win over Jordan Griffin, and his most recent loss was to Jason Knight. That was a crazy, oh my god, that third round TKO from Chase. It was like, he had I remember watching that. It was like a one. It was like a jab and then rear uppercut combo or something it was like a two and then bah. It was crazy, bro. It was wild. But I was like, god damn. And I thought Kelly was doing all right in that fight. But it is what it is. But yeah, Jamall Emmers is 18-5. Fights at Red Lake, California, age 31, height 5'10", reaches 74. His most recent win was against Vince Cachoeira, and his most recent loss was to Giga Chikadze. This guy's actually super interesting. He has a win over Corey Sandhagen, which is fascinating to me. But Jamall Emmers and Chase is 35. He is coming off a win, and he did have a crazy submission over Bobby Moffett via Darce choke super quick. So that was crazy. I don't know. And his last one was 1 year ago, and that was 4 months. And Jamall was last in there 6 months ago. So I don't know if activity is a thing. I think I might shock some people. I'm going Jamall Emmers. I know most people on top, 68% are going with Kelly or Skelly or however you say his name. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. But I'm gonna take Emmers in this one. I'm gonna see if he gets it. I'm gonna take him by decision. Yeah, I think he gets it done. But next fight, Eddie Wineland versus John Castaneda. This is I mean, I love this fight right here. It's dope. But Eddie Wineland comes in 24 and 14 and 1. Fights at Indiana, age 36, height 5'7", and reach 69. John is 17 and 5. Fights out of Minnesota, age 29, height 5'7", and it reaches 69. So they're identical in the height and the reach. The only thing they're really separating them is records and their age. Eddie Wineland's coming off a KO loss to Sean O'Malley, which was really severe. I felt really bad for him. His most recent one wasn't too long ago. It's borderline 2 years ago, but I was surprised. He got it done. He got KO over Gregory Popova. I think that's how you say his name. And Castaneda is coming off a loss to Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood he's a beast. He's the prospect, But his most recent win was against Marcelo Rojo via submission arm triangle. He's lost to Jose Aldi via split, and he's lost to Levi Saul Marquand via decision. So, yeah. In his last 5, he's been... they're actually super identical, and both of their last 5, they've been, 2 and 3, both of them. So, they're not necessarily doing the best. I think Eddie can get this done. I really do. But that knockout, over Sean, it was 8 months ago. So he's taking the proper time to come back. I will say that. But that was crazy, bro. I don't think John Castaneda is going to roll over and just let this old man beat him. Nor do I think Eddie's going to let this young boy take his spot. I think that there will be, a push and pull. But, man, I want to see Eddie Wineland get it, but I think John Castaneda is going to beat him, man. I think he gets this done by decision, Actually, yeah, I'll go decision. I was about to change it. I'm going decision. Next one, we got a female fight. Oh, man, the return of Shana Dobson. I forgot she was on this card, actually. Yeah, Dobson comes in, phenomenal record of 4-4. Fights out of Washington, D.C., age 31. Height of 5'6", and a reach of 69. Casey O'Neill is 5-0. Fights out of Australia, age 23. Height 5'6". She's fighting at a Tiger Muay Thai, actually, which is interesting. And her reach is non-applicable. Most recent win was against Christina Stelo via ground and pound TKO. Shana Dobson is coming off a win over Maria Agapova via ground and pound. You know what? Let me praise Shana Dobson, actually. She did her thing against Maria. I was pretty pissed about that. And I remember I rewatched my recap on that card, and I didn't like how I talked about the girl. That wasn't nice. So I just want to say, she did her thing, and I want to give her respect. I'm still picking against her. And I don't even trust Casey O'Neill, because I've seen her highlights, and she is not that good. But she is a Tiger Muay Thai talent. She's very aggressive. She goes forward. She'll go for takedowns. She tries to break girls. Dobson's older, so there is a maturity factor in there. 23 is a young age. I don't know if Casey has grown into her body yet. So there's a lot of factors going into this. But y'all already know me. It's a female fight. So it's got to go decision. I'm going to go Casey O'Neill via decision. I just think, I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't like using excuses, but I really do think Maria had a heart attack in there. And bro, she left out of a fucking stretcher out of the octagon. So it's like, I don't think I'm that wrong to say it, but she looked like she had a fucking heart attack. So I think that was somewhat of a fluke. I think Casey will put Dobson back into reality. But hey, Dobson did her thing though. I'm not gonna hate on the girl, even though I just kind of hated on her. But Jared Gordon versus Jenny Chavez. This is awesome fight. Awesome fight right here. I love it. Man, this is gonna be fun. These guys are gonna scrap. I actually really think this is gonna be a good scrap. Jared comes in 16-4, age 32, height 5'9", and reach 68. Danny's 11-3, fights out of Miami, Florida, age 33, height 5'8", and reach 67. Fights at MMA Masters. I love that gym right now. They are fucking on fire. Jared's most recent one was against Chris Fishgold. Looked good in there. His most recent loss was against Charles Oliveira. No shame in that. Motherfucker's the number 3 guy in the world, right? Or something like that. Danny is coming off a win over TJ Brown, and his most recent loss was to Aldia Alek via decision. This is a hard fight for me to predict. I think Danny has really, really good takedown defense. He works with a lot of good wrestlers. I think he was recruited by Ricardo Lamas. Ricardo's kind of like, kind of groomed this guy low key, and he talks about it in interviews how he's learned so much from Ricardo, and Ricardo is one hell of a wrestler. So I'm assuming Danny has good takedown defense. He showed it against TJ Brown, but Jared Gordon is a grinder. Could I see Gordon losing this, man? I don't know. This is a hard one for me to kind of predict low key. I don't want to say Danny's gonna. Let me look at the odds. Yeah, a lot of people are going with Gordon, man. Danny's not a bum though. Like, I'm gonna say safe and say Gordon by decision, but I could see Danny taking this. I just think Gordon's gonna out wrestle Danny Chavez, but man, Danny do not sleep on that guy. He is not a bum. He might go out, fuck around, and win that fight. But next up, we got some heavyweights. Andrei Arlovski versus Tom Aspinall. Man, I love this fight. Fucking Andrei's 30-19, still doing the damn thing. Age 42, height 6'3", and reaches 77. Fights at American Top Team. Tom is 9-2, fights out of England. Age 27, height 6'5", and reaches 78. Andrei's coming off a win over Tanner Bozer. Tom is coming off a win over Alan Badeau. I actually want to see the odds for this. Yeah, so 73% is going with Aspinall, and 28% on Tapology, obviously. 28 is going with Arlovski. Good fight here. It's like, this is kind of like, how much do you believe in Tom Aspinall's talent? Do you think he's a really good boxer? Do you, as much as they say, do you think his jiu-jitsu is great? We're going to see legitimately how good he is. Andrei is the ultimate bum test. I honestly do believe that. Tanner Bozer's not a bum. I don't want to be that guy. But I remember someone said that in my comments, and I was like, that's actually super true. But you know what? I think Tom. I wonder. Andrei's gonna box with this guy. I think Tom might knock him out. I really do. I'm gonna go first round knockout by Tom Aspinall. I think the kid's legitimate. I think this is a good matchup. Andrei's 40-2. I know he's a heavyweight, but oh my god, experience will play a factor in this. But I think Tom Aspinall gets it done. I really do. I think he first round KO, and another one. I'm probably gonna go a first round KO. Alexei Oleinik versus Chris Daukaus. Alexei comes in I think he's the. Let's actually look at the rankings now. For the heavyweights, Alexei, number 10 heavyweight in the world. 59, 14, and 1. Man, that's wow. He's so experienced. Fights out of Russia, age 43, height 6'2", and reached 80. Chris is 10-3. Fights out of Pennsylvania, age 31. A height of 6'3", and it reaches 76. What's interesting about both of these guys weighing super, super light for heavyweight. Both of them, weighing at 227, which is interesting. Alexei's coming off a knockout loss to Derrick Lewis. Chris is coming off a win over Roger Nascimento. And his most recent losses to Andrei Inoue via KO. I'm actually going to be taking the young gun here. Taking first round KO too. That's another one I'm going. His brother, Chris Daukaus, is so good on the ground, bro. He is so good on the ground. So that's why I kind of believe him. Alexei, oh, man, eventually you got to call it quits. I gotta go. I gotta go Chris Daukaus. I think he gets this done. I don't think Alexei is going to get this done, man. Chris has been looking amazing, and I think he knocks him out. Next fight up, the ladies, Ketlen Viera versus Yana Kunitskaya. Ketlen is 11-1, fights out of Brazil, age 29, height of 5'8", and reaches 68. Yana is 13-5, fights out of Russia, age 31, height of 5'6", and it reaches 68. Ketlen's most recent win was against Sajara Eubanks. Her most recent loss was to Irene Aldana via KO. That was crazy. Yana's most recent win was against Julian Stokarenko. I don't know how you fucking say that girl's name. Via decision. And her most recent loss was to Aspinall via KO in the third round, which was nuts from Aspen. This is a good fight. I gotta go Ketlen Viera, man. Ketlen Viera looked actually really good against Sajara. She kind of bullied Sajara around. Yana is actually a good grappler, so I think they're going to match up really well. It's a good matchup for both of them. I think 2-1, I think kind of, 28-29. I think it's going to be a close fight. A lot of, grappling positions, but I think Ketlen Viera is she's just a bigger girl, in there. And I think she's going to be a lot stronger in the clinch situations with Yana. And I think she gets it down. I think she takes it. But I could see Yana win. Actually, I could really see Yana winning this fight, Yeah, I could see her winning this. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think Ketlen Viera, where are these girls ranked? I think these girls are bantamweights, so yeah. Ketlen's number 6 and Yana's number 7. So they're matched up really well with each other. So I like that. But I'm gonna take Viera via decision. And next up, the main event. I've done a breakdown on this. Y'all know me. I do not like Curtis Blaydes, and this is to my boy Kendall. Your boy's gonna get knocked out. I'm going Derrick Lewis. You already know Derrick Lewis gang. Derrick Lewis by 4th round TKO. Go check out my breakdown I've done. It was a while back. It was in November, but I feel like for the technical difficulties, y'all. This computer been jacking up. But like I said, I gave good points for both sides. I honestly, Curtis can really win this fight, but Curtis bitching out and faking COVID tests, right, on the last day. I don't care what nobody says. That's my theory, right? It's kind of underwhelming. So, I don't know. I think momentum's on Darrick's side. Darrick, Curtis been pulling out. And I think Darrick gets this done. 4th round TKO. But yeah, go check out that breakdown. Really went hard on it. I will leave the link in the description. Gave some really good clips on it. So, hope you guys enjoy it. It's an old video though, so it is what it is. But y'all already know what's up. But love y'all. Goodbye. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. If you're new and if you're just watching, if you made it all the way here, good for you. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you want. It's your choice. And yeah, share the video so we can get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. I love y'all. Tell me who y'all going with. Tell me if I'm crazy for going with Derrick. Say, oh, Curtis gonna break him. What are you smoking? And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm smoking that Black and Miles. All right, y'all. I'm out here tripping right now. I'm going too crazy. Love y'all and goodbye. See y'all.